Hello, guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about Fate Remnant Collide. So, yeah, let us begin. So, we continue on to about a day after last episode. Wait for a second, something. A day after, the whole incident in the fall forest, where we currently see, Rex basically going on with his day until he was basically until it was like class specifically with the rest of Team Wrath being that of Walter the leader, Rex, Harmony, and also wait for a second, I meant Tina and Harmony, as they're currently in class, as for some reason Carter was not there. After a while, the teacher would arrive, specifically Well, Professor Port. And if you're wondering, yeah, something happened to the picture for Professor Port. I don't know why what happened. It basically turned into this low res version of it. Anyway, continuing on. As we currently see him, he would say this. Hello, students, he would say. As everybody would say hello to Professor Port. As Port would explain the reason why Cardin was not here. Apparently, he was expelled. Mostly for evidence against him, basically, almost trying to. Gene. Or Jane. I won't be saying the actual word for it, but it's rhymes with grape. Remove the G from grape. Yeah. And also trying to almost kill Rex, aka, the Invincible King, with some death wasps, which they gotten illegally, or at least I think those are the names of that, insect like Grim, and also almost blaming it on them. And not only that, they would also learn that apparently of his, his treatment of Faunus, mostly the upperclassmen being that of Velvet. And let's just say the principal was not happy, specifically, Osmond, and decided to, expel him, including the rest of his, team, because of well, they were illegally basically, coming into the school as well, similar to, to, our girl over there, aka, really to our girl over there, aka Jean. And because of that, let's just say they're no longer allowed in any, and I mean any school. As after that, we would continue on class, as class was just basically normal until one of, one of Rex's classmates, aka Ruby, would basically come up to him as he would say this. Oh, what is it, Ruby? He would say. As she would say this. Well, we're planning to go to the port to basically meet up with some of the other students that are coming here for the festival, she would say. As he would say this. Oh, that thing. Sorry, I'm not really interested right now. I'm going to be busy for, training and stuff, he would say. As one of them would say this, specifically, Wise. Makes sense, she would say. After all, you meet to practice for the festival soon, she would say. As she would say this. Yeah, let's just say it's going to be a busy week, or at least a busy month, or at least a few months, he would say. As one of them would say this, specifically, Yang. It's gonna be hell, she would say. But it will be a little bit more tolerable if you're with us, she would say. With a, somewhat cheeky smirk, as he would say this. Yeah, yeah, he would say, as one of his, teammates, specifically, his partner, Walter would say this. Hey, as he would look over to see Walter, as he would basically be, waving at him, as he would say this. Hey, come on, let's go, he would say. As he would say this. Oh, sorry. I should be leaving now. My leader over there is, well, kind of busy, he would say. As all of them would agree and would basically start leaving their separate ways. After, after basically catching up with, with Walter, as Walter would say this. Hey, partner, he would say. As he would say this. Yeah, Walter, he would say. As Walter would say this. Well, I recently learned that apparently that there's something happening recently, he would say. As he would say this. Really? What is that exactly? He would say. As he would say this. Well, have you heard of the Roman Torchwick guy? He would say. As he would say this. Well, yeah, the infamous criminal? Yeah, why exactly, he would say. As he would say this. Well, you see, apparently something has happened, and he's basically attributed to, well, stealing some dust. Apparently the reason why is because earlier, or at least somewhat, a few, months ago, apparently there was a dust robbery. As he would say this. Oh, um, are you perhaps talking about the dust incident last time? He would say, as he would say this. Yeah, yeah, that one. Um, I did hear that your childhood friend Ruby over there actually was a part of it. He would say, as he would say this. Oh yeah, she was the reason that basically sort of stopped Roman from basically getting away, or at least somewhat. I mean, she did, lose him, but as he would say this, yeah, but I was wondering, he would say, as he would say this. Yeah, he would say, as he would say this. Well, about your semblance, he would say, as he would say this. What about my semblance, he would say, as he would say this. Well, if you're able to basically summon these servants of yours, why not use them to basically try and stop them, he would say, as he would say this. Well, for obvious reasons, it would be illegal. And second of all, it would probably be a bit suspicious. And third of all, some of my servants are, to lack of a lack of a better term, somewhat chaotic, he would say, as he would say this. Oh, I see, he would say, as he would say this. Anyway, let's just continue on with our other classes, he would say, as he would say this. Well, yeah, I also need help with this, homework stuff, he would say, as he would say this. What is that exactly, he would say, as he would say this. Well, remember our project for Miss Peach, he would say, as he would say this. Oh, the grenade, he would say, as he would say this. Yeah, I'm not really good with dust all that much. That is why I usually use my bow and use my semblance most of the time, he would say, as he would say this. I see. Guess I'll help then, he would say, as he would say this. Wait, really? As he would say this. Yeah, you're basically my partner, so why not? He would say. As after saying that, he would be happy as him and Walter would start leaving. So after a while, basically doing their little project, specifically the grenade one that was requested of them by Professor Peach, they would start hearing something, specifically from nearby. As after, Izuku, not Izuku, I meant Rex was basically done with his project, or at least his grenade, which was made of combustion and a few different types of dust from each cartridge. Like for example, electric for stunning, you know, another one that's fire that's basically what you think, just a regular old grenade. Another one basically made out of hmm, um, let's just say it's ice based dust that basically acts as a sort of flashbang. So after using those, he would start leaving, as the rest of his team would basically we're currently tired and wanting to get some sleep. But for him, he was kind of curious about the sounds that's currently happening outside. When he looked over, or at least opened his door, he would notice both Weiss and Blake were fighting. After seeing them fighting, one of them would say this, specifically, Blake, why do you keep calling us why you keep calling Faunus's just animals or criminals or anything of that sort, she would say. As Weiss would say this. I'm really just stating the facts, she would say. After all, you know how many things that they had done to me? All of this, she would say as she would point at their scar. As she would say this. All the time, my father would be angry, feel so terrible, because all the fun is causing all of this. All of this, she would say. And the White Fang are no better, she would say. They're nothing more than animals, criminals, and deviants, she would say. They're nothing more than degenerates, she would say, out loud, as Ezekiel was a bit shocked, as he would say this. Huh. I'm guessing she's finally showing her true colors then, he would say. As one of them, specifically Weiss, would say this. You piss me off, she would say. And she would say this. Why? Then, she would say, why do you care, she would say. Specifically, well, Weiss, as she would say this. As Weiss would say this. Why do you even care? You're not even one of those animals, she would say. And she would just look at her as she would say this. Why exactly? Are you some sort of supporter exactly? She would say. As after saying that, she would say this. Maybe it's time that we're done being oppressed, she would say. As after saying that, Izuku and Wise's eyes would just be wide eyed. As after doing so, Blake would start leaving, running away. As after Wise, heard that, she would say this. So, she's one of them, she would say, as she would say it out loud. And as for Rex, he would decide to try and follow her. So, after getting out of his room and, seeing, Weiss basically left before he actually got out, he would start leaving to find, you know, to find Blake. As we currently see Blake in front of a statue, as she would take off her bow. After doing so, it would be revealed that she would have cat-like ears, as she would say this. Animals, she would say. Schnees are always the same, she would say. As after saying that, she would hear footsteps behind her as she would say this. "No, who's there?" she would say. As after saying that, Rex would basically come out as she would say this. Rex? She would say as he would say this. Oh, hey, Blake, he would say. As she would say this. Why are you here? And, um, do you hate me? She would say. As he would say this. Well, no, not exactly, he would say. As she would say this. Really, but I basically, as he would say this, it doesn't matter. As he would say, after saying that, she would say this. Wait, what? She would say? As he would say this. I don't care if you're a faunus or anything. I mean, you're basically humans, just like us, but with more features, I guess you could say. As she would say this. Um, really? She would say, as he would say this. Yeah. Still can't believe Weiss actually said that, he would say. As she would say this. Yeah, can't believe it either, she would say. And I was her teammate, she would say. As he would say this, so, what are you going to do? He would say. As she would say this. I want to check out something. I want to find out if the actual White Fang are actually doing all of this. As he would say this. What do you mean? He would say. As she would say this. Have you not heard of the news? She would say. As he would say this. Oh, you mean about the White Fang basically, quote unquote, trying to steal some of the, dust, you would say? I don't really believe it either. I mean, who meets that much dust, you would say. As she would say this. Exactly, she would say. As she would say this. So, if you want to help me, then please. I want to get to the bottom of this, so please help me, she would say. As he would say this. Sure, he would say, as he would basically let out his hand and basically handshake, basically did a handshake. As he would say this, I think it's finally time for you to basically, fully introduce yourself. He would say, as she would say this, right. The name's Blake Belladonna. I'm a faunus, she would say, as he would say this. Anyway, let's hurry up and go. Before they can, they would hear something fell down from the sky. As they would hear, hey, so you finally shown your true self, eh? She would say, as this woman would be revealed to be some sort of monkey faunus. As the girl would be revealed to be some sort of monkey faunus. I meant monkey faunus. As she would say this. So, I think it's better if we start leaving, she would say. As Izuku would say this. Mind pray tell who are you? He would say. As she would say this. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself, she would say. And, oh, so I don't really know you either. I mean, personally, but I do know you in in some circles, she would say, as he would say this. Right. Anyway, let's get going then. And after that, they would start leaving. So, yeah. So, I'm gonna be ending off this episode right off here. So, yeah. Bye bye!